And we are back once again. That race, that was an amazing race, and that was a great way to open up today's showcase of Little Nightmares games. I can't get over it, man. 13 hours ago. That skip was found 13 hours ago. I've never seen someone during a race go for a skip out 13 hours ago. God, I love that. I just absolutely love that Rodney went for that. And right, like, we had the lead 13 hours ago. I'm over. I'm good. I'm good, everyone. Anyway, back to Little Nightmares. If you've enjoyed the game so far, we're going to take a deeper dive. In case anyone did miss it, we are going to be taking another look at a different side of the game. A lot of people were kind of wondering, what's the story about? What's the world of Little Nightmares? Now we're going to be kind of diving into a little bit more of a completionist category, so you can see more of the game and kind of a more in-depth look at these things. The next category that we're going to be doing is Little Nightmares, All Gnomes and Statues, which is an absolutely adorable category ran by Kenhie. Take it away.
Hello, my name is Kenny, and I'm going to be running Little Nightmares 1 All Gnomes and Statue category, which is very different than 100%. But it does explore more of the area, the zone, and less skips because we do have to take a detour to find these gnomes, but it's going to be a pretty fun run. And I'm joined with Larxa and Zyra as commentating. Zyra with his run earlier, doing a kitchen skip, which I just learned about right now as well, which I was hoping to be able to do it myself, but unfortunately I cannot do that skip because there is a gnome before that skip. So, all right, I think I'm ready.
All right, on your countdown, we can begin time.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So yes, this is going to be all gnomes and statue category. It's very, very different. Like, it's very similar in terms of like some of the strats and like the routing, but we are going to be grabbing a lot of gnomes and statues. And what's really fun about them is that we get to hug all the gnomes and break all the statues, which is something that I find very adorable in this category. Very different than what, you know, if you do any percent, basically. So in this, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, so what made you choose the cup or the teapot?
Oh, well, everyone was running with their own, and I didn't see the teacup in their run, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the teacup for mine. Just to show off a little bit more of the game and what you can get from doing all the achievements or, you know, collecting all, you know, basically 100%ing the game, essentially. But yeah, so we're coming with our first statue, which is back here. Running and sliding into the statues is definitely the fastest way to break these statues, but it's not very responsive. It's very finicky, and sometimes you can kind of glitch yourself into the statues. So unless you're doing it really delayed, you're probably gonna get stuck in it, and it just wastes time. But if you're comfortable with it, I think it's better to just do that. So yes.
So how many statues are there? Like
there is 10 statues and 13 gnomes, and one of the gnomes is the one that you intentionally hug later in chapter 4, which I think everyone saw earlier. When I first ran this game, I was so confused because I was watching the world record holder, and I was counting all the gnomes that he was trying to grab, and I couldn't realize I didn't realize that the one that he forcefully ate was one of the gnomes that you grab. So I was like, is this world record wrong? It was really funny. But yeah, so that was one of the gnomes. He was stuck inside the refrigerator, and we helped him out by opening the refrigerator, but he doesn't know, they don't know who I am, so they kind of run away in fear, and I have to like kind of force myself on them and like give them a big old hug to kind of show them that, hey, I'm not anybody crazy, I just want some love. Oh, but yeah.
Oh, well, that's what the last gnome thought. Poor gnome.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah.
What's cool about the DLC is you get the gnomes are actually AI, so they'll help you with puzzles and stuff.
Yes, that is true. It gives more depth in like where these gnomes come from, why are there gnomes, you know, and you know what kind of characters they are in the game. So yeah, basically, a little bit about the lore. Yeah, you're basically a little girl in this, kind of trapped or stuck in a giant ship called the Maw, and you're just basically trying to get out of it. And if you notice from the previous, you know, during the race, she is incredibly hungry. Periodically, she'll get these hunger attacks, and she just needs to eat something. There is a lot of lore, but like you watched previously, there is no text, no dialogue, pretty much nothing that kind of explains the story. So there is a lot of theories online, like fan theories. Maybe if you go onto the developer page, if you go on the Little Nightmares page, you can learn a little bit more about the characters, but there is really no 100% story behind it. It's kind of hard to really deduce what is actually the real story. But it's fun. I definitely recommend anybody who's interested in the story to give it a try, or give some videos a watch, because they're really fun to watch.
And Kenny, so a question for you: what ended up getting you to run Little Nightmares? Like, what was your motivation of learning the game?
So I'm like I would categorize myself as like an indie horror category, like variety indie horror. So I like to find like indie games. I know I run Bendy and the Ink Machine and some other indie games like that. And I don't remember who got me into this, but someone mentioned it. I missed it. That's all right. Someone mentioned Little Nightmares to me, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. And I really ended up enjoying the game a lot. And if I enjoy a game, I tend to just want to try to speedrun it, which became the thing. And I really, really enjoyed it. Like, it was really fun. Like, learning the tricks, meeting the people in the community. Everyone was very friendly. Taught me a lot during my first week of just learning the game. Like, I had, I think, the top 5 runners in my chat just like teaching me a bunch of stuff. It was really, really cool. Really wholesome. So what I did right there was I went up to trigger a invisible like an invisible loading scene, which allows me to go back down, grab the gnome, and then do a really quick reload checkpoint to spawn me back up here, which saves like, I don't know, like maybe 15-20 seconds instead of having to climb back up. And then we're gonna do another one right here. So we did the slide, but it didn't break. We're gonna manually break it and then do another reset checkpoint, and then spawn us back to where we were earlier, and then we can proceed with the level.
All the checkpoint abuse. It's really cool. I like it.
There was a ton in this category. Yeah, you abuse a lot of checkpoints.
Yeah. What's really funny is that so I do run Little Nightmares 2 as well, and the controls is slightly different, but what's really big and like what's really different is in this game there is a stamina gauge, like a hidden stamina gauge. And so if you consistently run with Six, then she can get really tired. And oh, I missed it. Yeah, she gets like these weird she like slows down basically. So you have to like manage your stamina gauge, your invisible stamina gauge. And it's kind of hard to do it if you're not conscious of it. But when you like learn the speedruns, you kind of like know at what points you should stop running and what points you want to keep running and stuff like that. And then I'm also at a bad habit of continuously jumping, because in Little Nightmares 2, later you'll see that jumping is primarily a movement in the game. And in this one, it's not. So it's really hard to change the habit from both games.
Yeah, it's pretty different for both. Like sometimes in Little Nightmares 2, you'll just like keep running, and I'm like, where's my stam? Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we got our first bread, our first food, and now we're just gonna progress. So yeah, in this little level, there's only one gnome that we'll see. Earlier you didn't see this part because you don't have to see this area, but in this one, after you turn off the electricity, you actually go left instead of going right, because there is a gnome trapped in a cage. And so we'll be exploring a little bit more of the zone. So yeah, they were mentioning it previously, but there is a world to it, of course. And earlier, the box was kind of tilting more towards the left, which I didn't feel comfortable trying to do the skip there. And so I went around and jumped from the plank instead of where I just like emerged from. Sometimes the world tilt kind of helps you, and then sometimes it kind of backfires. So you just have to adapt to like, you know, at what point you're at and like how the world tilt is feeling.
Got a good old ship cycle.
All right.
Oh, will you be doing the baby version of the police skip? Or
Oh,
the...
absolutely.
Okay.
I cannot do the big boy way. It's too hard
Holy
for me.
skip is incredibly daunting, it should be
Yeah.
mentioned. Like, our runners made it look very easy, in fact. And the way that pulley skip ends up working, like, again, you have to like bounce off the wall, land in exactly the right spot. If you land wrong, you die, and you lose a lot of time.
Correct.
Also, I see a question in chat. Kenny, do you run this on keyboard or mouse or controller?
Oh, I forgot the name. I actually do both. So there are some tricks that is a lot easier with keyboard and mouse. And then there are some skips that are much easier on controller. Like, for example, I'm actually using both in this situation right here because I need to pan the camera down a little bit. So I'm using my pinky to kind of move the camera downwards here so it's easier for me to see. And then I kind of like, you know, use the controller to move. So I kind of use both in this situation, but generally I will always use controller unless the trick requires me to use keyboard and mouse. So I do a little checkpoint reload here because it actually sets up the lights here to be in a pretty good cycle. If you don't do a checkpoint reload, then you have to wait a second to, maybe more than a second, like 10, maybe 5 seconds for the light to kind of like move and adjust. So we just do a checkpoint reload because I think it's faster. All right. So you'll notice that when I'm climbing up these ledges, ideal way to climb them is to try to never have to actually like climb it. If you can get an instant climb, then that's ideal and that saves a bunch of time. But in the situation, you know, it differs from position to position, I suppose. It's very difficult. All right.
Also, as mentioned a little bit earlier, so why is the category all gnomes and statues instead of 100%? Or what's like the difference between the two categories, essentially?
Okay, yeah. So there are these little lanterns that you find in the game, and they're supposed to act as like a checkpoint. But what's really funny and ironic is that there's a bunch of checkpoints that they give you in this game, just by like just walking across it or like just, you know, just hovering over it. And so it's kind of weird that there are these lanterns that you kind of have to like light up. And so the difference between 100% and this category is that in this category, you don't really care about the lanterns as much. You only focus on the statues and the gnomes. And right now, as you can see, like 6 is a little bit slower here, so I kind of have to like wait a little bit for her stamina to kind of gain again before I can start running. Okay, it's really tough to like manage it. Let me see if I'm good here. Okay, I'm good. I'm back to normal.
And another thing to mention.
okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Basically, I was gonna say is there's a lot of lanterns, and I don't know. I just find it kind of weird to have to light up every single one, so I don't do it.
I know one of the big reasons as well that this category is split is because the game's kind of weird for this, but for the gnomes and the statues, you'll actually in the menu get a counter. So it'll say, "Oh, you've hugged this many gnomes, or you've collected this, or you've broken this many statues." But the lanterns don't have that counter for some reason. So when you're verifying it, it's a lot easier. Like once you're done with the run, we'll also be doing this. So make sure that Kenny does get all the gnomes and statues. We'll kind of be going through the main menu to go look like, oh, did you break them all? But the lanterns doesn't have that easily checked, which is why this category got segmented that way.
Yep, correct.
Also, the classic question, the run is indeed live. Kenny is doing this run live. However, as always, chat is pre-recorded.
Yes, it is a VOD.
Wait, doesn't he have to put a shoe on his head to prove it's live, though?
Here, I'm gonna throw
definitely
this
confirm.
monkey right now. Boom, hit it, score.
Yeah.
See, we actually scripted that earlier.
Yeah.
No, the run is live. Chat's pre-recorded. We scripted chat earlier. Remember that.
Yeah, what I like to do is I like to climb this elevator. I don't know why. It's just something to do while you're waiting for this elevator to kind of like ride down.
Yeah, some people go nuts in here.
Like
What
that.
you
You can do these super jump boosts. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right.
It'll
So right
just be
here,
jumping
I'm gonna
around.
be doing a keyboard. Oh, I missed it. I second guessed myself there. So I use keyboard and mouse to do hunger skip because it's way easier. I think all runners technically do this.
So what's the inputs for hunger skip? Why is it like easier?
Oh, okay. So the way you do hunger skips, let me try to get this one. Yes, we got it. Okay.
Nice.
The way hunger skips work is you're forcing Six to trip. And to force her to trip, it's basically moving one direction, but quickly tapping the opposite direction. And so on a controller, it's way harder to do that because, you know, you kind of have to like move your Joy-Con like left and right, which is a waste of time because you're forcing Six to kind of jerk back and forth. But on a keyboard, it's a lot easier because you just hold, you know, your left or right button and then you just tap your opposite direction, which is a lot more consistent.
Yeah, way easier.
Okay, I just want to make sure I hit every single gnome. Yeah, I got the gnome and I got the statue. Okay. It is very easy to forget, especially if you primarily run any percent, so I have to check myself to make sure I hit them right.
So for every gnome you miss, you gift 5 subs.
Yes,
Let's do that.
let's do that. Oh no, oh no.
So between the all the levels, Kenny, which would you say is probably your favorite to go through? You have the prison, the lair, the kitchen, I think the buffet, and then the ladies' quarters. So which of those is your favorite to go through?
I think kitchen is probably my favorite, but it's also the place that you can lose the run the most. I think, in my opinion, kitchen is like where a lot of action can happen. You know, you have a lot of skips, you have a lot of out of bounds, or like not out of bounds, but like breaking the sequence. Oh no! Okay, we gotta reset there. He actually got triggered there, and what happens is that he actually opens the door, and so you don't have enough time to actually be able to pull the crank. So you gotta safer to just reset checkpoint here. Oh no! Okay, let's see if this works. Okay, this works. Climb. So there is a gnome in the vents here. In the any percent, you never climb back here. Oh, this is one of the lanterns right there on my left. That's one of the lamps that you would have to light up if you were doing 100%. But luckily, I'm not doing it. All right, so there's the gnome. He's running away from me because he's scared of me. I would be scared too if someone with a teapot head was chasing me.
Someone made the
Nice
joke
bug.
earlier, but so does that make you Cuphead?
Ah, I think it does.
Ah.
So there is a really
Cuphead
interesting
origin
movement in
story.
this shoe area, but it's kind of hard to do. If you land into the shoes and you do a quick slide animation, then you can actually, like that, you can actually gain a little bit more distance than you normally would. But it's very difficult to do. I never get it 100% of the time. I find this really funny because he kind of teleports just what he want. Wait a second. He never does that. He
Are you
always.
saying?
Oh, what?
Are you saying?
He never climbs over that pipe. He always just clips right through. I think
Would
it's
you
'cause-
say?
That is so weird.
I guess that's
it's a
fitting
GDQ.
enough.
It's a GDQ. It's a GDQ thing.
Marathon luck.
Yeah,
Mark, so
marathon.
would you like to say it?
I've never seen this happen before.
Yeah,
That works.
exactly.
I'll take that. There it is. That's never happened before.
Yeah, it's never happened before.
I think it's because I moved the
think I say
camera
that
left.
every run.
That's why.
I can't remember the last episode we had where we didn't say that. Because it happened 2 weeks ago. It happened 2 weeks before that. And I think at least one run per episode has somehow managed to have something that's never happened before. Happen
this
now.
this also never happens. Can I please get in? Oh, there you go.
Oh, what the?
We're cursing the rudder.
I'm actually getting cursed right now.
Don't worry, I do it to a lot of people. I remember a couple months ago we had on an Eternal Enigma, and he was doing Sound 4, and he still gives me plenty of flack for this because apparently I unlucked him into a death hallway.
Oh no.
Apparently it was the worst hallway he's ever seen in that game through his years of running it.
Oh.
And many runners have had bad times because I said, good job. So, let's hope that doesn't happen here.
Yeah, I'm already terrified.
So that was another statue inside the little in the below the boards, and then we do another checkpoint reload because it actually sets up the janitor to be in a position where it's actually better for us. Because if we were to go back and then walk back up, he would be in a position where he would probably 100% grab me, and so we do that little checkpoint to set him up a little bit nicer. All right. Grab the shoe. Hit the button. We're gonna run away. All right. We broke one statue, and then there's one gnome in the piano room, and he's hiding underneath this platform right here. We're gonna scare him off.
So, who's your favorite gnome in the run?
The one that I eat. I mean, hug.
Aw.
Cause he gives me energy.
Hey, which one?
That's fair.
The
okay.
one in the guest house in the
Ah.
what is it, the what do they call it, like the buffet area, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A better
Spirit
question
of the
is,
Wing area.
do the gnomes have names?
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do, but I would it's spoilers, but there is one that does, technically.
What?
The one that,
Didn't even know that.
yeah, I don't want to say it because
You have to play the game.
Oh no! Oh, it worked. Okay,
Wait.
okay, it worked.
Yeah. that
And
was
going
super
back to
fun.
that skip we talked about earlier, because I remember that one we commentated quite a lot on. And like we mentioned, it's not easy.
Yeah, there's 3 outcomes. 1, you can aggro him early, and then he kind of glitches out, and you can get through it. 2, you just somehow escape him altogether. Or 3, he just grabs you. And what's really cool here is you can flip through the TVs and see which one you want. And that's probably the creepiest. The first one is definitely the creepiest because it's the song, but everything else is pretty interesting.
I literally never knew that. And I run the game. Oh my goodness. Kind
Alright,
of.
I'm gonna play a little bit safe here because he has been grabbing me lately, so I'm just gonna play a little bit safe there. Ideally, once his second foot goes into the door, you can run away immediately, but I've been getting caught by him, so I'm just gonna play a little safer there. Alright. So I think we got a good cycle here. I don't have to wait for the piano, so we just jump right through. Nice. I think we should name all 13 of them. We should. But I forgot I was gonna say something and then I forgot now. It's something to do with the lore and I can't remember now. Oh, so there is a theory where if Six were to eat something, she gains the knowledge and the powers of whatever she eats. So one theory that kind of backs this up is that when she eats the gnome, she understands how to fight the geisha. And when she eats the rat, she knows how to navigate through the rest of the maw and stuff like that. It's very, very interesting.
It's kind of like
Yeah, that
what
makes
happens when you
sense.
eat books.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see how this Jander skip goes.
Let's hope so too. All right, I'm low on energy here, so I'm gonna try my best. Oh yeah, I got grabbed. So I need to be full energy or full stamina there because you need to run pretty quickly after the bait. But I managed my stamina pretty poorly there.
Well, hey, we'll call this good time for an exact breakdown.
Oh, what am
of
I
how the
stuck
trick
on?
works.
Okay, I gotta restart again. I got stuck on something and I couldn't move right.
All
There you
good.
go.
So yeah, we'll use this as an exact breakdown of how the trick ends up working.
Okay, I gotta reset again. So you need to bait his first attack, or the skip, or this strategy doesn't work.
Yeah,
Okay, there we go.
it's very specific.
You want to
Nice.
time it like as right as the door closes. You want to jump.
Okay, I think I messed this up. Yeah, I did. So I was a little bit slow there to triggering his because you need to basically break one of the bars before he even gets close to you, and so if you're too slow, then he just activates. Like he can actually grab you there, which is very unfortunate, but that's all right. Well, we'll do the intended strat, and the intended strat is
Also,
just to wait up here.
Given the, because I've heard a few methods of how doing this, so the breakdown that I always use for the Jander skip, because you can actually do that skip blindfolded. It's one of the coolest skips in the game. All you have to do is get into position and use your ears.
Ah,
There's a little grunt he does, it's like, whoop! And once you hear that grunt, immediately sprint jump forward. If you do that, you'll land it 100% of the time, every time if you have the stamina.
okay, I'm stuck on something. Yeah, there's these weird invisible walls. Like 6 just
The game's pretty,
refuses.
yeah, it can get pretty finicky at times, unfortunately.
Yeah, you cut his limbs off, and you can hear him just screaming in pain.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, that's what horror games do. They give you those moments.
It's like Spirited Away, except you're chopping off people's arms.
All right, so I'm gonna switch over to the keyboard again because there are some hunger skips that I'm gonna be performing here. The first one, it doesn't. This first one, I don't need to actually trip 6, but I need to kind of duck in a position here. If I duck past the checkpoint, it should work, and I think it did. Yeah, we're good. So over here's the next one. I just do hunger skips, and that worked. There we go. And then this last one, you can do a hunger skip here, but I think it's faster just to jump all the way and get as close as possible to the rat because this third animation is really fast. So I just keep jumping until I get close enough, trigger it, and then just walk directly to the rat. All right. So since we ate the rat, we now know how to navigate through the kitchen because rats like to go through vents and stuff, which is what we're going to be doing very soon. Oop.
So 6 has all the knowledge of a rat.
So there is a
Rat
secret
now.
room in here. I think a lot of people missed this during their first playthrough. And it's a weird and creepy shrine for the geisha.
What? I've never seen this. My goodness.
Yeah, it's really
That's
cool.
also,
You get to explore a lot.
It's part of the reason as well I wanted this category for Kenny to show it off, because you get a lot of interesting rooms that a lot of people don't get to see.
Yeah. All right, so I'm against the world tilt here, so I have to kind of push it a little bit further, but that's okay. So yeah, unfortunately, I can't do kitchen skip. Or I can't even attempt it. Oh, did I get it? Okay, we're good. Because I have to do the normal strat because there is a gnome that we're gonna miss. Oop. Okay, there we go. All right, so I switched to keyboard again here because it's easier to go through these rafters using keyboard and mouse than it is with a controller, because it's not apparent, but because of the camera changes, the way you move with the controller does change. So if you're constantly moving left and the camera tilts a different angle, then you're not really going left anymore. You're kind of going diagonal-ish. So that's one advantage of using keyboard and mouse, because you know, going left will always go left. So this strat is a little bit different at any percent. We want to actually trigger the chef a little bit earlier here, because we need to get past him later on. Instead of going immediately to the elevator, we have to get past him. So we're gonna trigger him early, and then we're gonna go ahead and grab the key. And he is quite deaf. Like, I would assume that he would hear me from that, but he doesn't. That's good. And then you can hear the audio cue that he opens the door, so we're pretty much safe now. So the reason why we have to trigger him is because we have to actually go back to the bathroom, because there's a little gnome that's hiding in the bathroom. So we're gonna hug him and then keep going. Go ahead. Sorry.
He's just trying to use the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me you're not gonna go for kitchen clip?
Unfortunately, there's actually 2 gnomes that I have to grab. So kitchen skip is completely impossible for this run, for this category. There's another gnome, like, just running away from me. Come on, come here. He somehow got inside this little jar. I don't know how, but he got in here. We're gonna grab him.
He was hungry.
Yeah. And then we're gonna do another checkpoint reload, because we need to set the chef in a position that is favorable for us. Because if not, then we have to wait a whole cycle, which is kind of slow.
Also, a lot of people wonder, how can the chef be upstairs but also downstairs? The answer is he's just really fast.
Yeah, there's
really nothing else.
Yeah, there's no 2. There's only 1.
He's just really fast.
I mean, they're not twins, I don't think. So I think there's only 1 person.
Oh, the one little detail I do like is that they have like pictures of the chefs.
Mm-hmm.
So
Theory?
you look in the room.
Some theories say that there's actually 3 of them. Because there's another one that's in the buffet area, and it's not the same ones as here. But I don't really agree on that theory, but
he's just really fast.
Yeah, he's just really fast. All right, so people say that this is RNG, but I believe I can manipulate it. Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's see.
All right, that's 1.
Okay, nice. This is the hard part here.
Oh, okay, it is RNG.
It's the god ham. Well, it really just relates to how much can you channel, I guess, your inner ham.
Mm-hmm. Not enough, apparently. So there is another room in here which has a statue. I can never break it with the slide. It's unfortunate. So be careful not to reset checkpoint there, because if you do, the ham gets back, like the ham resets. I did that once and I regretted it. So, all right. This gnome can easily be missed because he's just hiding here underneath the table. You hug him and that's it. So that's all the gnomes and statues in this area. So a good visual cue that I use is if the shadow hits 3 squares, that's enough. But I need to turn, and it should be good.
Yeah, that's smart.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of eyeball it.
All right. All right, we're in the freezer now. So my favorite scream is coming up here. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with it.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, my favorite scream. This scream to me reminds me of the scream in Luigi's Mansion. One of the ghost screams.
Yeah.
They are so similar.
Like, it's like the E.
Yeah.
Like they're really just like, I love those guys. Also, a neat. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's fine. You go.
I was gonna say a neat thing about this category is you don't actually have to do the door skip that people are doing in the any % run, because you actually do need to go into the trash chute because there's a statue down there.
Correct. That is probably like everyone's most hated skip because it is very difficult to do. Like you can try 2 times, but if you give it a 3rd time, you're probably gonna get grabbed. And it's really sketchy. It's really tough to be able to do it. Like there's multiple setups on how to do it, but it depends on every person's preference. But it's still very difficult to pull off in a run. Hello, can you please open the door? All right. So yes, we do have to go into the garbage chute because there is a statue that's hiding. That's a little neat trick there. You can actually just kind of like climb to the top
Oh,
part
that's
of
cool.
that.
I never knew that.
Yeah, it's really fun. So I got this statue stuck somehow by sliding, so I'm just not gonna slide for that one.
Like it just was in like the corner and you couldn't get it out.
Yeah, like it was just stuck in the corner, and for some reason Six was just refusing to either climb on the hill or grab the statue. Like she wanted to grab everything else except the statue. It was really strange.
Also, we kind of glossed over the skip in the race, but essentially what this room ends up skipping is the whole. It's like you have to like climb on some plates, reverse the hooks. There's a lot you have to do. But Kenny's not gonna do that.
Yeah, this skip is amazing. It saves so much time. Yes, we got the jump. Okay, so you have to be careful with that because if you do land on the top part and you go too far right without triggering these sets of hooks, then it actually gets stuck. So you have to make sure you're like far enough left before you go right to keep this hook gondola thing going and active. If
It's
not, it
hilarious.
resets. It resets. It literally soft locks you. I think you can't even if you do a checkpoint reload. I think it just blocks it.
What ends up you can go back and you can redo the room, but if you try essentially going forward, the hooks just freeze. Like they won't move. They just hang.
Yeah.
And then you pretty much eat a death in order to have to do that.
So there's another gnome here with a little cute with the lighter. We do a checkpoint here to spawn us back up here because it's a lot faster than having to climb back up and go through the vent or going through the hole. Here I use keyboard and mouse because again, with the whole camera angle changing, going left or going right, sorry, on the controller is is really unstable. So I just use my keyboard here because it's a lot more consistent.
I like how this category speedruns affection. You instantly hug and then it ends.
Yeah, the last gnome gets all the affection.
Yes.
Oh.
All the affection. Alright. This is by far my favorite scene. Like, it just shows how incredibly massive the maw is compared to you. It's just insane. Like, when I first saw this during my first playthrough, like, I was just like, oh my gosh. This is incredible.
I'm also 99% certain that solar flare has probably killed the most runners out of anything in the game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like when
Yeah.
you're learning this game and you're just get out here, oh, it's nice and easy, I can make the jump, and then you just jump off the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, you cannot jump early. It's death. 100% death if you jump too early.
And then you can't see because of the solar flare, so...
Look at that little
Died there
seagull.
Many times and felt super embarrassed.
Yeah, so I don't know if I should say this, but it is a horror night. A theory is said that the people that they're eating, or sorry, the things that they're eating are previous guests that came here to eat in the past. So
Where did you read that?
it's a theory where essentially, because you notice that there's a bunch of meats that are way too big to fit like Six's size. So where are they coming from? And there's not any cows, no chicken, nothing. And so people are theorizing that it's the previous guests that come to and eat at this buffet. After they eat until they get a coma, they the chefs come in and do something. And what's really interesting is there is a scene that you'll see, which in the any percent you did not get to see in this category, that kind of proves the theory a little bit better. which I'll announce it a little bit more when we get closer to it.
I think I just eating ham on the table.
But there is like
Just chilling.
there's no like animals in the ship. I mean, there's a fish,
just
but
chilling.
that makes sense because they're in the ocean. Like,
Also,
look
I
at the
see it in
size of
chat
the
is,
meat.
oh, it's big meat, yeah.
Yeah, it's big meat.
I
What
do
did you
see it in
see,
chat
Chad?
though for a lot of people who are asking, oh, can you learn how to run this game? Yeah, there is a plethora
Mm-hmm.
of guides on the speedrun.com page, and there's a very friendly community of people for the most part, I'd say. And then you can, it's very easy to learn the game, I think.
Yeah, yeah. If you go on speedruns.com and search for the Little Nightmares page, there is a link that will take you to the Discord community page, and on the Discord community page, you will find any to every skip, glitch, out of bounds, and so many people that will be more than happy to help you learn it. And again, there is also a lot of guides on YouTube that teaches you all the things you need to know. In fact, I even have a guide on TikTok that I teach this entire run on because it was pretty quick.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
And the Discord community is both for Little Nightmares 1 and Little Nightmares 2. So if once you're done with this game and you want to try the Little Nightmares 2 one, I almost missed that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I
then
saw it. Oh god.
then the community is definitely there. You only need to join one Discord for it.
Yeah, the only Little Nightmares game that people don't run is Very Little Nightmares, but it's like a mobile game, so.
Right, yeah. Okay, let's see if I can get this. Nice, we got it. All right, so for the any percent, as you saw earlier, you do bait this chef to come out and then you go into the elevator immediately. But if you notice on the top right, or like more on the right side, you'll see that there's a statue. So I kind of have to go through this room to get it. And we're gonna bait the chef to come because we need to get him closer and fast. Because if we bring him too slow, then he kind of idles in this bathroom for way too long. And so we try to bait him as soon as possible so he can just immediately go out like that. Perfect. Oh, I don't want the tissue paper. I want the can. Fake mirror. Fake mirror. Alright. And so for this one, I'm switching back to keyboard.
Also, big congrats to Six for just surviving the pane of glass just falling entirely above her.
Yeah.
I know it's a game, but
Alright,
if
so-
you're... Yeah.
So earlier I mentioned that, you know, the chefs are doing something. In this room, it's weird that the chef is cooking in the buffet area. And it sounds mushy, like, I don't know, like people maybe? And so that's why people say that theory. You never know. And there's another room that's right here, I'll notice, is that there are guests that eat until they, I don't want to say it too soon, they eat until they pass out. So it's kind of
Sounds pretty
like,
nice.
you know, what's going on in this place. All right, so that's Nomi number 12, I think. So there's only one more left, and it's the most special one.
We have to give it a hug. Clearly the game
Yeah.
will change, right?
Yep, we have to give it a hug. I just love like the expressions that these guests are giving. They really want to eat me.
Well, they're hungry. They haven't eaten in minutes.
All right, so this trick here is really difficult. I need to figure out, it's this one, I think. I missed it anyway. I always miss that hunger skip. It's hard. I can't do it. And this one is right before this plank, which I got it, nice. And then the last one is right before the shadow starts. Or actually, no, it's right before that. Did I get it right? Oh, I did. Okay. Yay! Give me a hug.
Hey, for all your hugs, you get a sausage. Sausage.
Yeah. See, it's just a big old hug right here. There's nothing going on.
Oh, maybe you can like explain Shadow 6. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, if you look up.
Yeah.
And Shadow 6 is gone. She left.
So there's a really cool skip here. So you can actually like get into the elevator like here with if you do it timely like fast enough, but unfortunately we can't because there is a statue that we I don't even know how I broke that one. I just stomped it.
You rammed into it.
Yeah.
Clearly, it wasn't actually anything violent with the gnome. You just, you hugged it out of existence.
Yeah, just hugged it. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry, Chad. I just hugged it. I just hugged it to death.
Not to death, to non-existence. That's what it is.
Right. Exactly.
That's how I usually hug people.
Six
Oh.
just put the gnome in the teacup.
So, I like to say that this run is actually really good because I'm 2 minutes ahead of my PB. Somehow.
Well, good job.
So a little fun fact, I just started learning this category probably like a week and a half ago.
I'm proud of you.
And,
You did good.
and I'm very surprised I have this much time saved already.
Wait, did you beat my time?
I don't think so. Your time
Hold
is
on, hold on.
47, right? 46?
I'm checking right now. I don't remember what I haven't ran this category in a hot minute. A lot of people come on the show and they beat my times immediately as a result of coming on the show. So wait a minute. I have 4705.
4705.
You beat 47. Get 4706, and then we're all good here.
I don't think I can. Because my current pace, it looks like it's a 4755 or 25.
Oh, gotcha. Hey, my time
maybe not.
stands
Yeah, for now. For now.
for now. Yeah, that's actually a recurring theme, though. A lot of runners, when they come on the show, they end up getting new PBs and stuff like that. I think my favorite was we had Maxi Lobes do Fatal Frame on the show, and he ended up getting world record for Fatal Frame. So I
Oh
said,
my
your
gosh.
world record, our world record.
Jeez, that's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's always very fun to watch you push games and categories that might be a bit newer or just kind of a refresh, so to speak. Actually, Larks, I heard you got a PB while preparing for this.
Yeah.
Oh, what
Yeah,
time did you
I
get?
PB'd by like almost a minute, I
Oh,
think.
congratulations.
Also, since we are approaching the finale, actually, Kenny, do you have any shout-outs you want to give it all?
Just one shout out for GDQ for allowing me to run this category. It's always a pleasure to run at GDQ. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's great. I like it. Shout out to the Little Nightmares community for welcoming me to the community and teaching me all this stuff and just having a blast, having races. It's all fun and stuff, and yeah, and shout outs to my commentators and the hosts, of course. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm just a paid actor.
Ah, yes.
Or pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pre-recorded.
That's only chat. The run is live.
Right. So yeah, this fight sequence is pretty much always the same. For the first two, it's different. It's always the opposite of where you're looking at originally, but the last 4 or 5 is always the same spot. So it's gonna be the bottom left here, and then the next one's gonna be the bottom right. The third one is gonna be on the left, and then the fourth one is gonna be on top. So it's not RNG. You can definitely position yourself to get the fastest kill sequence here. But it is a bit finicky, so you do still have to adjust the mirror. So right now I'm looking at the bottom left or bottom right, but it's not gonna be. I still have to kind of wiggle my way to get the reflection. There you go. left side. And then last one is going to be a little bit to the left, but on the north side here. And that's time.
All right.
Nice. Oh, really? What?
Wait, do you have an in-game timer up or no?
I do. Mine's 47:17, so it's not.
Yeah, I'm still.
It didn't beat you. But
Yeah,
yeah.
well, I'm imagining you'll beat my time soon. But I go ahead and celebrate the run if you wanna go for the, the final hug.
Yeah, let's give a big ol' hug real quick. So
Yeah, just a hug.
another reason to why I think the category makes sense, where if she eats somebody, or sorry, hugs somebody, she gains the power / knowledge, because right after this, you'll notice that 6 has the power to suck the soul out of all the guests. But yeah, that is all Nomes and all statue category. Hope you guys enjoyed that.
Although we have to make sure you actually got them.
Yeah. So let's go check. So we do need to check that I actually did get every single one of them, and I really hope I did here. So let's hope.
If you miss one, we're gonna leave the timer running. I'm gonna
Alright,
modify
so-
the category to most. That's all I'll do.
So
I'm gonna change the category name.
2-2. We're gonna check on the bottom right there. So hug gnomes is 3-3. Smash statues is 2-2. 3-3, 2-2. 3-3, 3-3. 4-4, 2-2, and it should be 1-1. Nice, we did it. Woohoo!
All right, good job. I don't have to change the name of the category to most gnomes and statues. It's still all.
It's still all.
And
yes.
a very good job to you, Kenny. A big
Thank
clap.
you.
Everyone can I get a clap for Kenny.
Thank you.
And then as well, if anyone wants to find you on Twitch or anywhere else, where can they find you?
Yeah, so I'm Kenny on both Twitch and YouTube. My social medias, majority of my social media is it's Kenny, so ITS, and then my name Kenny. You can find me literally on like every single platform, TikToks, everything, like Twitter, Instagram. So yeah, and if you like to join the community, you're more than welcome to as well. But definitely join the Discord community, because that's where you're gonna find most of all the really fun runs and runners, and get to meet a really cool amount of people. Like, they're all really awesome. So yeah, thank you for having me.
All right. Anyone else have anything to add really quick before we go to our final run of the night?
I'll be commentating for the next run. The next run is really cool. It's Little Nightmares 2, ran by Larksa.
Yeah,
It's gonna
she
be-
a blast with that one.
It's gonna be great. There are some really scary moments that I hope she
It'll
prepares.
be a good one. It'll be a good one.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna cry in the corner.
Yeah, no, she'll do it. She'll be great at it. She's also found a really cool skip that we all use now, and it's such a big save. Like, I love that skip so much. Saves so much time.
And we'll talk more about that when we get
Yep,
there.
correct.
For right now, though, that has been Little Nightmares, all gnomes and statues. We're going to go to a quick wellness break. So I recommend you stand up, stretch your legs, get some water, do whatever you need to make sure you're nice and cozy. We are going to be right back. Before we do go, though, I just want to say that if you are interested in volunteering for SGDQ 2021 online, submissions are now open until April 23rd. So go to gamesdonequick.com to find out how to submit your volunteer application to help with the event. And we're going to be right back.